that the new iPhone?
Yeah, got it on T-Mobile. Fastest iPhone deserves America's fastest LTE network.
Introducing the amazing iPhone 8. It's the best iPhone yet, now on America's best unlimited network. For a limited time, save up to $300 on the amazing iPhone 8 after 24 monthly bill credits. And now join T-Mobile's iPhone upgrade program for free.
Eligible trade-in and finance agreement required. If you cancel service, you may lose promo credits. Contact us for details. Video at 480p. Small fraction of users over 50 gigs per month may have reduced speed. See store for details.
¿Tienes el garaje lleno de pintura vieja que nunca vas a usar? Verde de aguacate, rosa caliente, blanco antiguo. Es fácil reciclar pintura en todas partes de California. Guarda lo que necesitas y recicla lo que sobra. Encuentre un centro de entrega en paintcare.org.
Blog Talk Radio.
T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. All three engines up and burning. 2, 1, 0, and liftoff.
Coach on Fire Radio.
Hello everyone, it's Mina here again hosting the second Clarity Unplugged shows. I'm excited to be here as I have an amazing lady who's going to tell you all about creating the life you want. She has the love for travel and combines the business with her travel across the globe. She is an expert at asking questions most coaches shy away from. And without further ado, can I welcome Patsy on the line. Patsy, can you hear me?
I can hear you fine, Mina. Lovely to connect with you.
Thank you. How are you today, Patsy?
I'm great. Having had a great Tuesday, so weather not as nice as it's been the past few days, but still, we're heading towards April now, so the better weather will be arriving in Glasgow any day now.
Oh, perfect. I mean, the weather here was perfect today. 17 degrees in London. I can't really complain.
Wow. No, you cannot. That's wonderful. But one of the great things about my work is that today I've connected with women in Australia, in Sydney, and a lady in Dubai, and a lady in Cape Town, and a lady in London. So although I'm not experiencing great weather, I'm connecting with wonderful women who are.
Amazing, amazing. And that's the journey we're going to talk about. How do you connect with so many amazing people across the globe? What do you do, please, Patsy? Can you tell me more about what you do?
Well, when I decided to launch my business online, I did it from a perspective of what was it that I wanted that my online business was going to be different from my offline business. So obviously my offline business, I was coaching people in person. So I was going to meet with people and I was traveling. And this was before the advent really of Skype or Zoom or even Facebook or the internet. And it's taken me a long time to move away from doing that because I love meeting people in person and I get a great energy from that. I still do some in-person workshops and my retreats and VIP days, but on the whole, the majority of my coaching now takes place over Skype because when I launched my business online, I did it from a place of what is it that I really, really want to do? And the answer to that was I want to serve my clients as best I can, and I want to be able to travel. I want to be anywhere in the world and be able to work. And that's what I've created. So I can be anywhere as long as I have excellent Wi-Fi. That gives me access to anybody in any country, which is just amazing.
Yes, I can imagine traveling the world at the same time, living the lifestyle you always wanted to live. Yeah. So can I just ask you, how did you get started in this world of coaching or the personal development world? Has that been a long journey?
Yeah, it's been an incredibly long journey. I'm a little bit scared to say, actually, but I have been involved in personal development for almost 3 decades. So it's not a new business to me. And if you had met me 20 or so years ago, you would have found me working in a very small kitchen, reheating food and making tea and coffee and wearing a uniform and at the answer of my customers. And you would have also heard me making announcements along the lines of, "Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to London's Heathrow Airport, where the local time is," because I was cabin crew for British Airways. And as well as being cabin crew, I was also an executive coach and involved very heavily in their training and development programs. And it was while working with British Airways and while staying at a hotel on one of the trips that I happened to meet someone who really changed my life. And that person was Bob Proctor. So I was virtually sitting at a hotel bar, and this gentleman was sat not too far away from me, and we got chatting about personal development, and he then said that he was running a 3-day seminar in that hotel that weekend, and would I like to come along? Now, at that point, I did not know who he was, and if he'd told me who he was, that still wouldn't have really meant anything. But I went along to 2 out of the 3 days, because on the 3rd day I had to leave, and the information that he imparted was life-changing. And then moving on from that, we stayed in connection, we stayed in communication, and he then offered to mentor me one-to-one for 6 months. And that is exactly what happened. And as they say, the rest is history. So that was my sort of introduction in a bigger way to the life-changing impact of personal development and coaching. Previous to that, I had been involved in coaching and personal development, but it was at a much more superficial level, whether this style of coaching just had the ability to transform everything about someone's life.
Wow, isn't that amazing? As they say, when the student is ready, the teacher appears. And,
yes, and that is so true.
Yes. I mean, for me, I can't say it has been that long. It's been a few years. It was about 2012. I kind of got into the world of personal development. I was taking time to find my feet where exactly. There's a lot of aspects to it. It's just not one. There's just a lot of different sections to the personal development world. And until you find that internal connection, it's really hard to say this is what I want to do. So when you say, you are in that world, what is your specialty? I know you do a lot of different things like NLP, Reiki, EFT, and how do you help your clients?
Well, I think the reason for the different modalities, I think coaching is like any other profession, and there are lots of different aspects to it. So for me, it's still about personal development. I am always developing myself, my skills, my techniques, so that therefore I can help my clients in a quicker, more robust way. So having all those different modalities is a little bit like a tradesman going to a job. It would be like, if a plumber turned up at your house and they only had a spanner, then they wouldn't really be able to do much. But if they come with their full tool bag, then they'll be able to do the job in its entirety. And it's exactly the same with coaching. Different clients demand different tools. Some will demand only the coaching aspect. Some may want to be trained in some skill or process. Some may want some mentoring, as in, this is what you do and this is the way to do it. And some may need that energetic connection through Reiki. They may need law of attraction. They may need the emotional freedom technique. And they may need all of it. So it depends on the client. But for me, it's always about serving the client in the best way possible so that they can reach their result in as quick a time as possible. And also, most importantly, that the result is sustainable, that it's not a flash in the pan, that it's something that they can build on and that they can grow from.
Definitely. It's like one size does not fit all, right? So you come with different sizes to fit different sizes, right?
That is absolutely true, Mina. Yeah, because no individual is the same as the other. Everyone comes with different baggage, different life experiences, different expertise, and also different expectations. You know, so some people want very, very different results from each other, and that's only to be expected because we are all absolutely unique beings, and that's what makes coaching such a beautiful, unique and wonderful job to do.
But how do you know which one fits what? You know, like if I was, let's say, your client, and I just came up with something, how would you know what would work for me? How do you gauge that from a client? What is yours? How would you know that by just talking to me that what's going to work with me?
Well, it's not just what's going to work with you, it's what is best for you and what you are more open to. So, for example, I often work with clients, and way back when I was an executive coach, I was working with things like law of attraction. But at that point, I was working with a lot of people who were very senior in large corporate, international, blue chip companies. If I had started saying to them, oh, this is what this is called, it's law of attraction and this, that, and the other, that may well have put them off and they wouldn't have got the result that they got. So you don't always have to give things a title or tell your client, this is what I'm doing. It's about introducing it in a way so that it works for your client. And as always, you tweak it as you go along. So when I was back in my executive coaching days, you know, not once did I tell my executive clients, so we're working with law of attraction now. What I would do would be introduce the themes, the techniques, the tools, so that they would get the results. And it was only really in probably the last 8 to 10 years that I've come out my woo-woo closet, if you want to call it that, and been very open with all the modalities that I use. Because I think going back maybe 10, 15 years, people would not have been as open to it as they are now.
Yes, I find that as well. You know, you have 30 years of experience in this. What is the difference you see in the past 10 years? I think the world has become so much open to sort of improving themselves, right, and investing in themselves, which I think was not the case not so long ago, right?
Yeah, no, you're absolutely spot on, Mina. I think the big difference that I have noticed is in previous decades, it used to be about improving performance in careers, performance in jobs, whereas now people are much more interested at a holistic level of improving themselves so that they can then improve their life and their businesses and their careers and the impact that all has on their children and their families and their nearest circles. So yeah, it's a huge, huge change, and you're absolutely right. And I think one of the things that has caused that is the internet and social media.
Yeah,
you know, I remember back in the day with Bob, when I worked with Bob Proctor, or when I studied alongside Tony Robbins, you know, you used to get a landline number to call, which was astronomically expensive because you were calling from the UK to the States. And there were no platforms like Skype or Zoom. And you couldn't go online and watch a webinar. You were sent cassette tapes, or when it became a bit more advanced, videotapes. But that was the way things worked. You know, so the fact now that you can connect with people in a different country within the space of half a minute. You can click onto someone's webinar and feel as if you're there in the room.